this is Madeline, and we've got a couple other people in the shot that are gonna watch. I'm Susie.
And I'm Claire. I'm here to do a little tribute speech to George H.W. Bush. His death this year brought the number of remaining living former presidents from 5 to 4, so it was kind of a big news event that I'd like to talk about. And I had this special opportunity of being in College Station when the train brought his casket to be buried at his memorial library in College Station. So that just kind of made it super special to me. As a former president, he impacted pretty much everyone in our country in one way or the other. And to just kind of commemorate his life, I'm going to talk about his successes leading up to his presidency, his family, and then his life after presidency, and kind of what his final days were like a little bit. So what he is obviously most known for is being the 41st president of the United States, but he also had very other prestigious positions and things that he held before he became president. So there's two positions that kind of stood out to me. The first one was in 1971, he was the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, which kind of gave him his knowledge on world affairs and stuff like that. And that's kind of what he was best known for and most favored for in his presidency, was his way to handle global affairs. And then the other job was he worked for the CIA, and he was actually the director of the CIA in 1976. So that obviously protected everyone in the United States. That was a pretty direct way to impact all of us. And then he also served as the vice president for Ronald Reagan for his campaign. He actually ran for president and lost the Republican nomination to Ronald Reagan, and then Reagan picked him as his running mate, which is kind of an interesting twist in things. And he served for 8 years as vice president under Ronald Reagan, and then right after that he was elected president, which only a couple other people have done in history. So that's also super interesting and a great thing for him to do. So through a life of servitude, one thing remained constant in his life, and that was his family. So everyone pretty much thinks of a family man is when they think of George H.W. Bush, because he loved everyone in his family until the day he passed away. He was married to Barbara Pierce Bush for over 70 years, and they even died in the same calendar year, just about 7 months apart. They had 6 children together. One, George W. Bush, ended up ascending to the office of president after his father, which was something incredible, and only one other person in history has been able to say that their son was also president after they were president. And then they even had a daughter whose name was Robin, who passed away from leukemia at the age of about 3. So they got through that as a couple as well, him and Barbara. So back to his son, George W. Bush, becoming the 43rd president of the United States. He wrote a biography for his father titled 41, A Portrait of My Father for George H.W. Bush, and debuted it at the Memorial Library for 41 in College Station, Texas, and I got this information from CNN.com. So that is just kind of shows their bond and how much they cared for each other, and how many similarities that they had just by both being president and being father and son. So George W. Bush led obviously a truly remarkable life. For 94 years, he went through trials, he went through accomplishments and more. So after the White House, he spent his days residing in Houston, Texas, and he lived there until the day he died. And I got this from the Miller Center's online database. Towards the end of his life, he was known for keeping his good spirit and continuing to encourage people through his actions. So on his 75th, 80th, 85th, and 90th birthdays, he jumped out of a plane and went skydiving to kind of commemorate his age and for living another 5 years. And he and Barbara both served at hospitals or churches, anywhere in their neighborhood that they could, to give back to the community and feel a part of the community, and not like they were some prestigious celebrities or something. They just really wanted to be active and meet people and interact with them, which is something super special that a lot of people who've experienced fame don't always go back to. And then sadly he passed away. George H.W. Bush passed away on November 30th, 2018 in Houston, Texas. His wife, Barbara, passed away about 7 months before, like I stated earlier. And she was buried at the Memorial Library for her husband in College Station, Texas in April. And then he was taken to be buried there after he died in November, early December. He was first taken to Washington, D.C. for a ceremony at the Capitol, and then to his home church in Houston for close family and friends. And then he was taken by train to College Station, which I think only 6 or 7 presidents have done. And he arranged this all before he passed away. This was like his plan. He was buried at his memorial church. So through all of his trials and achievements, he stayed grounded and always put family first, and this is what separated him from other men and other presidents. So something that was super important to me about this topic was that I was able to witness his final ride to College Station and his burial. I was at a house on Wellborn, which is the street the railroad's on, and we hung up flags and a 41 banner just to kind of have our final salute and everything to him. It was incredible to see how many people came out to watch it happen, and I was really glad that I was about to be a part of it, because no matter what your political beliefs are, I think everyone can agree that he was a great man for his family and always put other people first.